There are these big boys who are large size companies, whether they are multinational or whether they are the local Indian companies. That's one segment. Then there are this mid segment where these are Indian companies which are first generation entrepreneurial companies which have actually in the last 10 years assumed scale and are professionalizing. Then there is the third, which are the SMEs. If you look at the big boys, these big boys have access to high quality HR people in their own company. Especially the multinational organizations, they have their parent organizations which are well equipped, and some of them have been there for 100 years. So the extent to which these multinational biggies who come into India will go to buying HR services from Indian service providers is going to be very limited. They may buy compensation local data. They may buy information which is local about the supply side of the people. But it's very unlikely they're going to buy high-end products from the local HR companies. Now, within that segment, there are these biggies from the Indian, whether it is an L&T, whether it is ICICI, whether it is BHEL, whether they are the government companies or whether they are Indian companies. They have built an ability in designing and developing good performance management system. So these companies are not going to go and engage in buyout performance management system. But they still will be interested in engaging people in the domain of leadership, governance structures, board processes, succession related issues for senior levels, and also in terms of sourcing good quality leadership development. Now we come into the segment 2. That is where I think is the real market for Indian service providers in the domain of human resources products and services. Now here again the trend is, as of now there is a prestige value of buying products and services from international HR service providers. That is really where the Indian HR service providing companies have to move away from supply of people, supply of compensation data, is where they have got them, and supply of outsourced HR services. This is where the Indian players of HR services have got themselves caught. In a way, it is similar to what the Indian IT industry finds itself. Unable to do the next transition from the, what I call the bread and butter HR services of outsourced HR services, either in terms of supplying people or taking out the go route of HR and doing it. The value added services at this point of a time still are being sought out from the international companies. This is the value chain today in India.